Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto recipe for you. Today I'm going to show you how to make quick, easy, keto, 3-ingredient, high-protein bagels. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm always looking for ways to add more good protein to my diet, especially my breakfast and my snacks. So these bagels are a perfect way to add that extra protein. We do not use protein powder, I will give you a heads up on that, but what we do add to it gives it a lot of good, healthy protein. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while we do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat and then set it aside for a minute. Place 226 grams or around 1 cup of cottage cheese into a mesh strainer and allow any extra liquid to drain from the cottage cheese until the cottage cheese is thick. Now don't push the cottage cheese through the mesh strainer. You just want to allow the liquids to drain naturally, let gravity take its course, and any excess liquid will drain out of it. I use small curd 4% cottage cheese, so it's pretty much already thick, so there's really not a lot of moisture that drains out of it. But if you are using a cottage cheese that has less milk fat, like a 2% or something like that, then you will most likely have more liquid and you will need to drain it out because it's very important that your cottage cheese is thick. While the cottage cheese is draining, in a large bowl, combine 56 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour and 10 grams or around 2 teaspoons of baking powder. If you want to, you can add some instant dry yeast or some dry seasonings to give your bagels a little bit of flavor. You don't have to add those if you don't want to. It would obviously be more than 3 ingredients if you added those, but I do add 9 grams or around 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast because I add dry yeast to pretty much all of my bread recipes. It just helps your bread to have a little bit more of a traditional bread type flavor. Whisk the dry ingredients together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Make sure there are no lumps. Add the strained cottage cheese to the dry ingredients. Stir everything together just until it starts combining. Then use a fork and continue to stir everything together until the mixture is fully combined and crumbly. Scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to and push everything to the center of your bowl. Use your hands and press the dough together until it forms a smooth ball. Then massage or knead the dough together for about 2 minutes or until you have a smooth, flexible dough that's formed. If you are using a larger curd cottage cheese, then just make sure you kind of push the curds into the dough. You want to make this dough as smooth as possible. By the time you're done massaging it, you should have a smooth dough that is slightly sticky. This should not be so sticky that it is sticking to your fingers. The dough, as you are massaging it together, it should release easily from your fingers and just be slightly sticky. Once your dough is smooth, you're going to test the dough by just taking a portion of the dough and rolling it and stretching it around in your hands, just kind of playing with it a little bit. You're wanting to make sure that all the ingredients are sticking together, that you can easily kind of stretch and shape your dough without it crumbling. Once you're sure you have the right texture of dough, divide your dough into 2 to 4 portions, depending on how big you want your bagels. I'm making mine into mini bagels, so I'm dividing mine into 4 portions. But if you are wanting bigger bagels, then you would divide it into 2 or 3 portions rather than 4 portions. Roll each one of the dough portions into a smooth ball and place them onto your prepared baking sheet. Push your finger all the way through the center of your dough ball. Make sure it gets all the way through so you have a complete hole through the center of your dough ball. Then wiggle your finger around a little bit to kind of stretch the hole a bit. You don't want a massive hole, but you want the hole to be wide enough so that while it's baking, the hole doesn't close up. Also, make sure while you are shaping the dough that your dough stays smooth at all times. Make sure you don't have any cracks. If you do see any cracks, just lightly dampen your finger and rub the crack out. Use the palm of your hand and slightly flatten the tops of each one of the bagels. This is going to help make sure that your ingredients stay all together and prevent any cracking on the top of your bagels. Make sure you keep space in between your bagels so that they can have a nice even cook all the way around. Once your bagels are all shaped, in a small bowl, use a fork and stir together 1 egg until the yolk is completely combined with the egg white. Lightly brush the egg over the tops of the bagels. This is just going to help give your bagel a nice brown top. If you want to, you can sprinkle some everything seasonings or any dry seasonings of your choice over the egg wash. I'm just leaving mine plain because I just want mine to be more of a neutral flavored bagel. Place the bagels into your preheated oven. Bake at 375 degrees for about 25 minutes or until the bagels are golden and the tester comes out clean. Now, if you like more of a crustier type bagel, instead of baking the bagel, you can make these in your air fryer. You just would air fry at around 280 degrees for about 15 minutes or until your bagels are golden. Once your bagels are all done cooking, remove them from the oven and allow them to cool on the pan for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, just until they're cooled a little bit and have firmed up. After the bagels have cooled on the pan, transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before slicing them. We are back. We've got my little bagel here. I cut it in half so you can hopefully see the texture here. I already put cream cheese on half of this half because that's the half I'm going to bite into, but I wanted to kind of, hopefully you can kind of see that. I know sometimes it gets a little blurry there, but hopefully you can kind of see somewhat of the texture in there. It looks nice and soft and nice and fluffy. It smells really good. I let mine cool and then I just popped it in the microwave and put a little bit of cream cheese on part of it so we can taste it and see what it tastes like. So, smells really, really good. Dropping it. Let's see what this tastes like. Yeah. That has a nice flavor to it. It's got a nice soft texture, a little bit of a crusty outside from the egg wash that we put on there, but really nice and soft in the middle. And just to let you know, it does not taste like cottage cheese. I know some of you are probably wondering, because we put cottage cheese in this, you're probably wondering, does it taste like cottage cheese? No, actually, by the time you get done with everything, and especially because I add yeast to mine, it does not taste like cooked cottage cheese. It's very good, has a nice soft texture in that. I really like that texture in the middle there. It's got a nice flavor. Thumbs up for me. Yummy, 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 yummy. You can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, make sure they are cooled to room temperature, and you can store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 5 days, or you can also freeze these in a freezer-safe container for up to 1 month. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.